Yo, what's up, guys? It's Drew. Gonna do a quick update on Amazon, Apple, and probably do a recap on AMC as well. Some of the names people are, watching. So it's kind of crazy how technical analysis works sometimes, right? So in yesterday's video, I had mentioned three trend lines that we should watch out for. So we had this upper trend line here, this golden one. Same solid golden trend line, but from this bottom perspective, right? And this dotted one from here. And you can see today we had a reaction right at that dotted trend line. So if I remove this one for now so it's easier to see, you can see that, previously we had a reaction at this dotted trend line and again here. And now this is a third time, so we know this zone is significant. I mean, with all that being said, Amazon still looks really healthy to me. And, I mentioned to watch the volume, right? We don't want significant bear volume. And if you look at this volume, it looks like significant bear volume, but it actually isn't. So if we go to the 4-hour chart, these two 4-hour charts eventually makes up that day chart, right? But so July 7th, that's today. So the first 4 hours of trading was actually bull volume. Then follow because we did push up to this upper trend line before stalling and then making this indecision candle, right? We sold off a little bit and then we eventually bought up and we still closed this 4-hour candle in green. And then the next candle was where we got that bear volume and then finally more bull volume. So I mean, when you combine all these, the bull volume still trumps the bear volume. So even though on the daily perspective, it looks like it's significant selling, it actually isn't. So for now, it's still healthy, right? So back to so if we go to 12 hours, actually, this is our previous all-time highs, and this happened. I think this happened after hours. Yeah, so because it happened after hours, it didn't show up in the daily time frame, and also usually in the after-hour market, there isn't much volume, right? Because it's just people trading that maybe didn't catch the full move because they were at work or something like that, right? So there's not much buying and selling. So this zone isn't significant. So I don't think we'll probably hold this tomorrow. What we do want is to potentially set up some kind of bull flag or pennant. So it'll be ideal we hold this daily 8 EMA, right? So tomorrow is gonna slowly catch back up, right? So we'll see where the next candle prints, but that'll be the best scenario. So what I'd want to ideally happen is to just have inside bars, right? So triple inside bar would be amazing. So that'll be tomorrow and then Friday. Then potentially we'll have that breakout next week, right? And the reason why I wanted to do this is because if it just trades sideways like that, right? Whoa. So if it just trades sideways like this, making a bull flag, this kind of trading allows this daily 8 EMA to catch up. So, tomorrow doesn't do anything, this thing gets higher up. Then the following day, nothing happens, right? It gets closer up. So eventually, next week, it's already caught up and we can have that move and we're not too extended, right? But if tomorrow, out of nowhere, we just, break out like this, I mean, even our oscillators, right? The RSI, it's not even caught up yet. So we're going to be super overbought, right? If this happens. And not only that, the 8 EMA would still be super far away, right? So if it does something like this, it's going to have a significant correction back down. So that's something we don't want to happen. Don't want to happen. Sorry. I mean, it could, right? Because if you look over here, had that push, and then we had this single day for a pause, right? And then we had that push, but then it wasn't really much because then here we had that evening star, and then we just pulled back. But yeah, that's another scenario is totally in play. And it could happen, but the one that I want to happen is this sideways trading, right? Make some inside bars before we finally break out. Basically, just like that whole Netflix AMD thing I've been telling you guys about. So here it just traded sideways, all inside bars, right? Allowed the 8 EMA to catch up because before this happened, the 8 EMA was all the way down here, right? And it gapped. This candle gapped all the way up. So by trading sideways, it allowed that 8 EMA to slowly caught up, and then after it was caught up, it broke out, made that move. So that's exactly what I want to happen for Amazon. So Apple, I mean, it still looks healthy, right? There's no red flag, there's no bear volume whatsoever. it's just been straight grinding up. We go to the 4-hour time frame, which was the time frame we played. And the reason why we did so was, we had that triangle. So back to the daily time frame, we had this triangle we were watching for the break, right? But instead of playing the break, we actually, bought from the bottom trend line, and we played this 4-hour channel. So, you can see that it followed this almost perfectly. Every time it got up to that upper trend line, it sold off and got bought up again at the bottom trend line, right? So we finally made a breakout from that channel here. You can see, it broke out there, right? And now it's just using the 4-hour AMA as a guide, right? You can see that it's just bouncing off of it. So as long as we don't lose that, we're totally fine. There's no red flags. But that being said, on the daily time frame, look how overbought we are. And we did have resistance here at the previous all-time high, and you can tell we couldn't break that today, right? We stalled. So, tomorrow potentially it could do what Amazon did today and kind of, maybe it'll push out, but then it'll kind of stall. But we'll have to see, right? Because, yeah, I know I say, watch our side because it's overbought, oversold, right? But when things become overbought or oversold, it can stay in that state for quite a while. So, I mean, as long as buying keeps coming in, Apple can just keep grinding up. But yeah, just be mindful of these areas, right? But essentially, well, we have to check the 12 hours, see if there's any after hours. Oh, no. So, yep, this was just the all-time high we had to watch out for. So, if we do clear this, we could get like a little squeeze, kind of like what happened to Amazon over here, right? So, we broke this all-time high resistance, and then, we have that squeeze that pushed us all the way up. So, Apple could do that tomorrow, too, if it clears this zone with like good volume. Otherwise, yeah, just, watch those 4-hour 8 EMAs and just kind of take some off from the strength, right? Don't be too greedy, because I called this trade out and we entered in at 122. So we essentially caught the whole move already. So, take some off, that's already almost 20% trade in shares. And if you guys took that with calls, I know you guys be printing, man. Yeah, so that's it for Apple. And then AMC, I know people were watching this a lot too, just for that triangle, and that perspective we were looking at was from here, and we got that bear break, right? But look at the volume. It's not really like a spike, right? So you don't really know if that really was the break. If you go in the 1 hourly time frame, and AMD's been, AMC's been following it pretty well. Bought up here, and basically this zone is significant too. So I mean, it would probably hold here. And if you look at our side, we're oversold, right? So bounce is gonna come. 4-hour is also oversold, so bounce. You can draw a fib. I'll probably expect to bounce back to daily 8 EMA or 0.382 at 47. And we'll kind of evaluate. Potentially that could be the bottom for, the move back up to this upper trend line, which puts us up around 56. So I mean, definitely, keep AMC and watch. I mean, if you're not even in it, this is definitely a super low risk entry. Just stop out right here at the loss of the zone, right? Otherwise, just ride it back up to the upper trend line. That's a solid play. I mean, wait for some confirmation with volume, but yeah, low risk entry here. Anyways, guys, so that's just the 3 recaps I'm going to do for today. Amazon's still the top watch for me, but I'm in its share, so I'm just going to let it develop. Yeah, if I see anything else significant, I'll let you guys know. So be sure to like and subscribe. I really appreciate the support. Let's get it tomorrow, guys.